What else can I say? It's Florida, man. What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to get into some Shuffle. That's right. This movie is directed by Benjamin Flaherty. It won the Grand Jury Prize for documentary at the 2025 South by Southwest Film Festival, and it is releasing today. That's right. Right now. In this very moment, it is releasing as I'm speaking. Isn't that amazing how that works out? So, you can check out Shuffle. What is it? Well, again, as a resident of Florida and member of at least one of the two Florida film critics circles here, the Central Florida one, not the other one that's really limited and only has like 40 people in it. Wow, we did it again. Florida hashtag winning. Uh, so Shuffle is a upbeat, lively, comedic documentary about the complete failure of the drug rehabilitation system and the continued abuse of it, how it continues to profit off of insurance claims to an extreme degree, sparking investigations into fraud and allegations of a system that is not at all interested in actual recovery, but is more interested in finding addicts who are willing to repeat the cycle so that they can continue to charge their insurance and bill them. So they would much rather have you go to one of their centers, supposedly to rehab, and then have you relapse, and then have you detox, so you can rehab, so you can relapse, so you can detox, rinse, wash, repeat. It's a, it's a very warm and fuzzy documentary. I'm surprised this didn't open at Christmas. Uh, it's a great documentary though. So yeah, it's an expose on that, and I feel like it's flown under the radar. I don't know if this 2025 Oscar qualified. I January is not a great date for a 2026 Oscar qualifying run, so I don't know what will become of Shuffle. I I liked the documentary. I like how he navigates the story and sort of presents the problems of it as a as somebody who came out of Alcoholics Anonymous. He approaches this from a, well, this system worked for me, so uh, why are so many other people being failed by the concept of rehabilitation and recovery? And it's through his journey and meeting people who have been trapped in this cycle and hearing the stories of people who have been lost to the cycle that we find out just exactly the depths uh, of which that people will go to in order to make a quick buck off of a human life. So it's deeply chilling and disturbing. It takes place mostly in Florida, with a focus at least heavily on Florida and all of our, you know, rehabilitation clinics, all of our sober houses and everything that's down here, and how we just continue to propagate the system. We had this problem in and around the opioid uh, crisis too, which is explored in damn near everything that has been made about that crisis ever since. Um, they always come down to Florida and they're like, hey, Florida was killing the game during the opioid crisis. Look at this. So, um, it's That's why everybody's moving down here, man. It's just fucking great, man. It's hot as hell. Uh, we've got a lake full of like 1 million alligators. It's great. Somebody needs to make a documentary about Lake Jessup. So, uh, yeah, it's a sobering documentary about sobering. So, I think that's a pull quote. um, but if I was thinking about it critically and removing myself from the intentionality behind it, the good intentions for which this documentary has, um, I I'm not always crazy about the anonymity, the people who don't like to be revealed. I've got a bombshell to drop, but I don't have too much of that. Becomes a little bit. It's like, can you get someone to go on record at all? And there are some people here who do go on record, and some people who don't want to. And I think the focus on the people who do go on record is interesting, and the stories and the tales that are woven. But I kind of wonder if there wasn't more story to mine here. The movie's actually kind of short. It's like an hour 23. So we tend to focus on really just sort of like a handful of people and their stories. There's a uh, there's a young man, Cody, I believe his name is, that we spent a lot of time with, and he met the director over Facebook and was willing to sort of talk about um, the cycle of all of this. And we watched sort of his journey over the production of the documentary and his various highs and lows. There's also a young lady, I believe her name was Nicole, who we follow, and another young man and his mother whose story is told, um, at least somewhat effectively. There's a guy that identifies himself as a broker, because they will take, they'll look for addicts who have insurance cards and offer them the option of rehab, and the brokers who can find these people, and sell them, package them, end up getting a kickback to it, because the value of one human addict is worth, thousands of dollars, in terms of what you can bill the insurance company. And they break it down too. Like, it seems kind of crazy, but they break down the insurance fraud and how you can do it, from the uh, even the urine tests, which becomes this like multi-billion-dollar industry that I don't know is multi-billion-dollar industry, but I guess it is. Uh, but there's like a simple urine test that you can perform. It's like $50 for a drug test, the kind of, like Walgreens. And then there's one that's like thousands of dollars. And somebody points out the idiocy of doing that test like every couple of days. Like, the drugs haven't worked out of that person's system, so of course they're going to continue to test negative, but they can continue to charge the insurance company for these tests. And all of this is just deeply sad, because it's a system that should work, but it's been completely manipulated by the people who shouldn't be in charge of it. Like, it's a system that is necessary, because there are people who have real drug addiction problems, who have real, just in general, addiction problems, and to think that the system is set up as like a for-profit thing, and they see you, as a piggy bank, a bottomless piggy bank that they can milk until there's nothing left. And then the callousness of which they don't care, when you don't have the insurance anymore, and they kick you to the curb. So, and sort of the deceptive nature of hiring some of these addicts to try to recruit other addicts, figuring like they'll know more, right? They'll bring them in, they'll be able to convince them that they should get in on this. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's a strong documentary. I really liked it. I can see why it did well at South by Southwest, and I think everybody should watch it. But yeah, if my only criticism would have been, um, keep, budgetary constraints, right? It's like asking, uh, it's asking too much of the world. But I would have tried to go a little bit further, interviewed a few more people, tried to get a few more people on record. I think that's the kind of thing that fleshes out your story a little bit better. Is just a couple more interviews, a couple different people willing to, um, you know, I don't know, echo what has already been said by someone else. So that way it doesn't seem like it's a singular person's problem. It's a pandemic or an epidemic in terms of the situation itself. You don't want to make it seem like it's just, well, it's just that guy, you know, or it was just that one place. Um, to put my criticism sort of into meaningful moments, I think if you want to know why Spotlight won Best Picture, is because the film was excellent, and then at the end of it, it has page after page after page of parishes where this has happened, and it's the fact that the first page, I was cited when Spotlight came out, so I remember what it was like to see that first page, and you're like, my God, that's a lot. And then it changed to a second page full of cities, and you're like, holy shit, there's more. And then it changed the third time, and you're like, oh my God. you know um so and they tried to put as many on the pages as possible, so they went out there and they caught all the Pokemon, so to speak, and they put them all up on screen. And it was seeing them all in that moment that it was really just super effective. And I think when we're going through the story, there's some mention of some other states and people behaving badly outside of Florida. Not that I'm saying it's not a Florida problem. It probably is. Lots of things are Florida problems. So, um, but yeah, just expand upon it a little bit more would have been my note. But I think it's a really strong doc either way, and I definitely think it's one that people should check out, especially people who like to learn about things that should be fixed, people who like to get onto causes, champion things, people who see documentaries and then go, how can I help? This is all in that wheelhouse. Shuffle is one of those films that you see and you go, well, this is why we can't have nice things anymore. So, but I would say it's definitely not a happy documentary. I'm somewhat surprised we didn't go full on Paris is Burning. I kind of I kind of was anticipating that, and that was my, oh, is this why we went South by Southwest? Because the potential of hitting you with all these people I spoke to are dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, sort of like the Paris is Burning of it all, where you realize, oh, okay, so yeah. Um, yeah, that would be that's where I thought perhaps, and to some extent, there's a dash of that without giving spoilers away. There's a little bit of that in here, but it's not to what I thought it was going to be. So check this out. If it's in a town near you, if it's a city near you, if it's a VOD near you, if it's a streamer near you that you subscribe to, wherever Shuffle may be, why don't you shuffle on over and press play. I'm gonna give Shuffle an 8.7 out of 10. I thought it was a really strong doc. Just a couple of little things I think could have made it just like over the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit like, oh my God. um, and sort of take your breath away. And because if it was longer, it's hard for me to go to a 2.5 hour film and go, why didn't you include more? It's a little bit easier for me to go to a film with like an 83-minute runtime and be like, I definitely think you had at least 7 minutes. At least, you know what I'm saying? I think you had at least 7 minutes in which you could have added a couple more interviews and reinforced some issues. It feels like maybe some people would call that, I don't know, over-explanatory, but I think in some of these cases, you don't want it to seem like it's an individual's problem, that you want to make it seem systematic. And that's why you have the redundancy. That's why you have sort of the two-factor authentication system in film, is that you go, okay, so it's not just him. Oh, he had that problem too. Oh, she had that problem. Oh, he had that problem. Oh, well, it's not just Florida. It's over here too. Well, it's just those. Oh, it's not that state. It's over here too. You know. Oh, well, it's just that one broker and he's a lie. Oh, it's this other broker too. Well, they're just oh, it's this other. Like you just kind of keep coming in with, the idea that like, oh yeah, well, then there's probably more. Yeah. So, uh, anyway, it's a little bit of that, but I think it's safe to say they had at least 7 minutes in which that they could have reinforced such a teensy bit better. But an 8.7 out of 10 is still a really high grade and it's fresh. So who cares? They're not going to come back to me and be like, can we get like an extra 3.3? Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.